everybody, what's going on? It is your girl, Sugary Girl Candy 2012, here to bring you guys a new video. So first I want to say, pardon how I may sound. I'm a bit tired and, this week has been extremely long for me. So I am physically worn out. It's just been so much going on this week. But anyway, let's get started on this video. So you guys read the title and you already know what this video is going to be about. This has been pretty much a discussion that's been happening on Twitter since Days Gone dropped. Um, so let's just make a long story short. To make a long story short, pretty much a lot of reviewers or critics or whatever you want to call them pretty much don't really like Days Gone, but gamers like Days Gone. And also, let me throw this in because this has also been ridiculously said on Twitter. A lot of people have said, this is weird that you guys would give Crackdown 3 and Sea of Thieves all this shit, but you're not giving Days Gone that same energy that you gave CD3 and SOT. Sea of Thieves and Crackdown 3, by the way. And I'm like, these people cannot be serious with this. Okay, so y'all do realize that Days Gone, first of all, that when Days Gone was like behind every Sony exclusive, like nobody was really talking about Days Gone, it was just pop up here, you'll see Sony been pop up with something on Twitter, and that's pretty much it. Sony didn't really start heavily advertising the game until like it was close to releasing. So it's just so odd that people would think that Days Gone was advertised as something we've never seen before. I mean, it does contain a few elements in the game that other games haven't done or other games have done lightly, but other than that, it wasn't advertised as this game that did all this incredible shit like Crackdown 3 and Sea of Thieves did. Specifically, CD3, Crackdown 3. Crackdown 3 was supposed to be this amazing, destructible world that you would be able to have in single player and multiplayer, and you would be able to do all this amazing shit with the game. Fast forward, and we finally get the game, and it does half of what it promised. Pretty much all of the destructibilities and everything you could do in the game was pushed into multiplayer, and then the game was very lackluster. So the fact that anybody would try to compare that situation to the Days Gone situation is ridiculous because Days Gone didn't arrive half done, and yes, Days Gone did have a lot of patches, but like I said on Twitter, when a developer cares to give us that many fixes to their game, that actually means they give a shit to give us a stable product compared to some developers who will wait till the game gets ridiculously out of control with problems and issues or whatever until they say, you know what, we need to fix the game. But by then, so many gamers are so pissed because the developers like took all this damn time before they actually started listening that they just don't even go back to the game anymore, or they just sell the game. Okay, so as I said on Twitter, when a developer gives you that many amount of fixes to their game, that means they actually give a shit about fixing their product and pleasing their fans compared to most other developers who won't even do that and just like allow for their game just to remain broken. I'm looking at you 2K, and I'm looking at a few other you bitches who do this shit. But seriously though, yeah, I mean yeah, so like pretty much like people are just taking any and every single thing and trying to downplay it, and that it's not just like a whole ton of gamers doing this. These are fucking people that we look at as professional, who are doing this bullshit. Like Kotaku were the ones that came out with Days Gone has had all these patches, but then forget that God of War had a lot of patches too when it came out. So it's like you guys are gonna just beat up on the little guys and call out shit that other games did and not call the big companies out is ridiculous. Like Bethesda, for instance. Like Bethesda's a game that has a ton of fucking issues with glitches and game breaking things because I experienced some of that shit, and that's like weird to me that they would only give one game, one franchise, all of this shit revolving around glitches and issues, but then forget about all the other big games and other big companies that had all these big issues and shit with it. So I'm like, wow, there's some backward ass shit going on right now with these companies, IGN, GameSpot, Kotaku, and a few other game critics who have just been jumping the hell out of this game for the smallest shit, bruh. Jumping into that discussion. The game has just been getting just like completely destroyed by critics, and I understand rating the game for how it plays and then the story and stuff like that, but that's not exactly what a lot of critics have been doing. And then when they do rate it, they take off points for that meager shit, aka adding their feelings into it. um the game not having gay characters, the game having another white male protagonist, which is ridiculous to me because there are so many video games on the market with white male protagonists, and those games don't get called out for, doing having that type of character, but all of a sudden we start calling out with white male protagonists all of a sudden now. Weird to me. And then they start calling out the fact that um, Deacon refers to his wife as a old lady, which is something I learned that this is like a lot of these lines are something that bikers say to each other. So I'm like, little research will never kill you, bro. And clearly, a lot of these critics didn't do a lot of that, or they didn't play a lot of the game, which the game actually explains a whole lot, bro. Um, so yeah, like, and I realized that some of the people that were doing these reviews were women, and they are the type of people that make women gamers look extremely bad when you take small shit and you complain about it, and on top of which you use that small shit to knock off a point, or from the game getting a nice rating because you inserted your personal feelings into it, which is ridiculous and sad because this is a case where critics again have completely destroyed this game, this product, but yet gamers loved it and can't seem to find any issues of what the critics, some of the gamers, let me say that, don't seem to have some of the issues, that don't understand some of the issues that these reviewers are complaining about. Which again, I played the game too. Like, they call the game lifeless, which is also bullshit because the game has a ton of life in it, and then you could just pretty much be minding your own damn business, and something happens in the world unsuspectingly, okay? And then it's just so, the game is far from being lifeless. Let me tell you that, because I'm playing it right now, okay? So and just calling out the way the character dressed, pretty much just destroying the character because of how he's dressed. The tattoos saying he's selfish this, selfish that, when you're pretty much in a world filled with humans who aren't humans anymore and you're trying to survive. Like, it's weird to me. And then there was one reviewer who said she literally wanted to add the fact that the freakers, they're not zombies, they're freakers, okay? She wanted to add to the fact that all the freakers were white. And everybody really looked at that comp. She put it on Twitter, by the way. And everybody really quoted that tweet and was just looking at it crazy. Like, are you serious? Like, you really were going to add that as a con? Yes, a con. The freakers being white. Which, again, this is something that was explained in the fucking game. But, when you don't play the fucking game or you don't try to understand it, then of course you're not going to get it and you're just going to make all these dumbass assumptions, which is something she did. So people were quoting her, obviously some was hilarious, some serious, and I even caught one that said, so how many black freakers would you have shot if there were black freakers? And I was like, wow. But yeah, anyway, it's just ridiculous. Like, you would even think about adding something like that, as ridiculous as that, as a con, and then take off from the game because of that, which again is explained in the game of why the freakers look the way they do. I don't know, man. These critics, these reviewers, again, whatever the hell you want to call these motherfuckers, are just losing credibility by the day. And I've always been the type that, there was a point in time when I was younger where I used to take the reviewers seriously and if they said the game was no good and you should probably skip it, then I would actually do that. And this is when like I was used to watch G4 TV and all those other, you know, uh, gaming shows on G4 TV. Then that's when I took reviews seriously. But then once G4 TV died out, I was like, okay, well, this shit is for the birds, you know. So I just start coming up with my own conclusion of whether I will enjoy the game or not. Because most cases, there are games that I have played that other people just didn't enjoy and like. Okay, so during a lot of cases like this, sometimes you just have to experience this shit for yourself in order to experience it for yourself and come to the conclusion for yourself if you want to purchase it. You know, because going off of reviewers when they're so biased and when they're rating the game based off of personal feelings instead of like what the game can actually do and then what it can't do and da 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 da. It's just not worth it, man. Like you'll never really enjoy something if you're always following what other people are saying. You gotta go based off of your own feelings and your own thoughts and opinions about that said product instead of what they're saying about it. Because again, a lot of cases, just because they feel that way doesn't necessarily mean you would feel that way. So this is something I've been standing by for a hot ass minute now. Like, I just stopped giving a fuck about reviewers and what they say about the game. And when I do, say, hold up, let me go look at some reviews or something like that, I tend to go to YouTubers, like smaller YouTubers, instead of instead of going to bigger names and shit because bigger names are so full of shit it don't make any damn sense. But I tend to go to small YouTubers and stuff just to see what they think, and then I keep on going to many, and then again after that I come to my own conclusion at the end of the day, even though I may watch some of their videos just to help me a bit. But I don't know, it's just ridiculous about this whole situation of revolving about around this game, excuse me. And I just feel so bad that Ben Studio have had to put up with this dumb shit and how their game is being destroyed in such a stupid ass way. And they're getting, I don't know, man. Like if you're gonna destroy this game for something that another game is doing, then again we see that two-faced bias bullshit popping up, and you lose all credibility then. And IGN and GameSpot videos have been getting disliked like crazy, bro. Let me tell y'all. And then after all of that backlash and shit, IGN had came out with another video trying to justify why they gave the game a 6.5 out of 10. And I was like, wow, it's already too late. You guys already lost a whole lot of credibility. So anything you guys got to review in the future, people probably aren't going to take your asses seriously. And it's a shame that it took Days Gone, like the sacrifice, to see how full of shit that these reviewers and critics really were, because people start seeing through that shit and people didn't see all of the issues that these reviewers were bringing up, like the character and the world being lifeless and stuff like that. I don't know, man, but again, if I were you guys, if you really want a product, then and you don't know whether you want to go based off of your feelings, then just check out some smaller YouTubers just to get, a feel of it. Because it's better to check to know that that person is going to be to buy. Make sure you check out the right type of people too, because there are some people that will be biased as hell and be like the big uh, YouTubers like IGN, the GameSpot and whatnot. But there are some good ones on there on YouTube that will break it down and go into detail about what they didn't like, what they do like, and stuff like that. And then you can come up based off your own conclusion. But if you don't want to do that, then make sure you do your research and make sure this is a game that you want to fully go through with buying. Or again, if you're not too sure, just buy it on discount, buy it when it's on sale, something like that. So I don't know. I don't trust these reviews anymore, and in a way, I'm mad because it took Days Gone sacrificing itself to show how bad these reviews really were. But in a way, I'm glad because now we know that if you were the type of person that trusted these reviewers and these big names with your review scores and your how you buy your games, then now they can't be really trusted because they're just pretty much picking the game apart and they're still doing it because they can't take a little criticism, which is weird. But I think that's pretty much it. If I missed anything, obviously I'll put it in the video, but I'll be leaving the question of the day at the end of the video, so you guys can let me know if you've been keeping up with this whole Days Gone and situation, you guys can personally let me know how you feel because these are my personal thoughts. So, with that being said, I'm gonna chuck the deuces. Y'all have a good night or y'all have a good day. See ya.